You know, Wayne, we work with people, we help them achieve their life goals, partner with them in that process.
We plan for financial success.
Success, absolutely, right? At the end of the day, there's a likelihood that there's a bucket of stuff left over and we're no longer here. The natural response is, it's all going to go to the kids and take care of itself, and I don't need to worry about much more than that. Thoughts in that world?
What's good for the kids? How much is good for the kids? Is it just given to them free? It's interesting. If people, lottery winners, the majority of them are broke fairly soon after winning the lottery because they have too many friends. But I've had that happen I had a young child that won a lawsuit, local school, got sued, won a bunch of money, and at, I forget what age, but I think at 21 he got the money. You cannot believe the friends he had at 21. How many friends did he have when the money was gone? Yeah. And they had music equipment, they had money doesn't make strength. Money doesn't make wise decisions. How do we help our kids make wise decisions? How do we help our kids suffer a little bit? I think I'm better because of the suffrage I went through the first part of my life. That makes me stronger. That makes me wiser with what I do today.
Well, and you say it often, wealth without knowledge is worthless.
Right. And so how do we give the kids knowledge? So many people are worried about the money they're leaving their kids. Have you written a love letter? Have you written a letter and talked about what you hope for them? Have you done a recording of what you learned in life? Because literally, wealth without knowledge is worthless. So how are we going to leave the knowledge? I think you should sit down and do a recording of your life and talk about the experiences and how you grew up and what made you who you are. Because you want to help the kids, your kids, those you love, understand better where you came from and the struggles you had.
Yeah, I happen to be reading Andrew Carnegie's autobiography right now, and he opens that up with the idea that he's writing it to his kids. He wants to leave the history of who he was in a written form. Now that's pretty extreme. Wayne's talking about a recording, a love letter, if you will, of your experiences.
Well, I think Uncle Carl was the best storyteller in our family. I mean, there was no competition. I mean, he was the best storyteller, and he always was laughing, always had everybody else laughing. And then he died.
All those stories went with him.
All those stories are gone. Stories of his life. I have a letter from one of my dad's cousins that he wrote 2 weeks before he was killed in Italy in World War II. I would know nothing about it, and it's funny what he was talking about in that letter because he was just talking about life. But that was him. That was Karsten von Borstel talking about life before it was taken away from him. And what are we doing to leave that knowledge? What are we doing? I think it's more important.
It's not about the stuff? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Well, it is about stuff, and it's important. But let's make sure we do it well. Let's make sure we think about where it's going. And probably your kids would be okay if you gave 10% of them to charity or something to charity. Whether they get $800,000 or $720,000, it's probably not going to make much difference in their life. But $80,000 to write charity could change thousands of lives or thousands of trees or whatever you care about. We all care about different things. Let's make sure that what we do makes our grandkids, our kids, those that we love, stronger, not weaker. Let's leave them strength through planning, through money, but more importantly, through wisdom, your wisdom.